All right, sports up, guys. What's up? We're back, better than ever. I'm Lauren.
I'm Kate. I'm so excited to be back, Lauren.
I am so excited to be back. So, before we get started, before we get into our groove,
Oh, yes.
how's break?
Break was good. I mean, I dog sat, so that was...
My dog sat.
I
so
really
that
didn't
was
do
very-
much.
Didn't do a lot.
No, what'd you do over break?
Same exact thing. I mean, I didn't dog sit, but
But you
I
worked.
I worked. Yeah, I worked at the Beachmont.
Oh, fun.
Our good old trusty Beachmont. In case you guys don't know what that is, Beachmont Tavern located on North Avenue, right next to our trusty fire department.
Yes, and I live right by there, so...
It's great. Got great wings, great burgers, good time, good crowd, good people.
Yeah.
It's a good time. That's what I did.
Did
And
you...
Santa got me some cool stuff. So
Well, that's always nice.
it's always a good time when Santa gets you good things.
Oh, yes. I mean, I got nice stuff for Christmas, too, so that was good.
Really?
Yeah.
Favorite thing you got for Christmas?
Let's see. Probably my new flannel
Ooh.
from Bass Pro.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Someone got a Bass Pro flannel.
Yeah. What was your favorite thing that you... received?
I got a record player actually.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So a record player. I've been wanting one for quite some time now.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
So you can play like old records.
I can
in it.
play all the old records I want to play, and it's great. And I have a couple too at home, so
That's
it's really cool. Yeah, it's a good time. So getting into our sports groove here.
Oh, let's do it.
We're gonna talk about football because that's what's going into the championships now.
Oh yeah.
To the world.
World Series. Super
I'll be
Bowl?
okay, guys. It's okay. School's a little rough right now. I'm taking 6 classes, so it's
Oh,
getting to me.
That's definitely a lot.
It is, especially senior year. It's second semester senior year. It's let me tell you, it's something. It's something, all right.
So do you want to start with
So Super Bowl. Let's start with Super Bowl because that football will be over soon, and
then we can just talk baseball.
then
if
we
you
can
want.
just talk baseball.
Yeah.
So Falcons versus
Green. It's
nope.
No, it's Falcons versus the Patriots. But should
Yeah.
we talk about that massacre of a game?
Well, yeah. Can we please just talk about how both it was just in both matchups, there was only one team that showed up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The Falcons completely dominated the Green Bay Packers.
I was not expecting that at all. I was not expecting that from Roger.
And it had been reported earlier in the week that he was suffering from flu-like symptoms. So I'm like, okay, maybe he won't play at his best, but his entire team was awful.
Yeah. It
And
wasn't just him.
It wasn't, and you
Wasn't just
can't
him.
put the blame just on him. There were
No.
multiple drop passes that could have been caught and gone for touchdowns
And-
to make it a closer game.
Yeah. And how about that defensive line too? Like
Awful.
just was not. It was not Green Bay.
It wasn't
It was
the
definitely
same-
wasn't the Packers that we've been seeing.
And it wasn't
throughout
exactly.
the season.
And it wasn't the same Packer team that we had saw the week before in Dallas.
No.
Was not the same
No.
Packer team. The defense, okay, they were coming off. It was okay, but it wasn't great in the Dallas game. But switch it to this past Sunday, it was a complete utter massacre. But there was something I saw about the Falcons. Did you see that one of the players' wives got the game ball because she watched the entire game in labor?
Are you serious?
Yes. So Atlanta Falcons coach Dan Quinn revealed an unusual first-time winner of the game ball on Sunday's NFC Championship game. So left guard Andy Leverett, his wife Katie, sat the whole game in labor and then went to the hospital after. And so they gave her the game ball.
She was hold on. She was at the game
At the game in
and
labor.
her water broke at the game and she was just like, "Nah, I'm staying."
Yeah, so she had gone into labor.
Oh my God.
Labor during the game, but waited it out. So we thought that was definitely worth the game ball.
Yeah,
She
that-
doesn't know that yet.
That deserves a round of applause.
So-
That's just pure.
So he
pure
said in the
warrior
interview,
spirit.
so if she's watching, Andy will bring her that today.
That's amazing.
So after the game, he went, showered up, came outside, went home for like an hour, and then went to the hospital, and then she gave birth. So she gave birth to a little girl.
Oh.
So I'm assuming she's not going to the Super Bowl in 2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'm assuming that they're not gonna be there.
Yeah, they'll probably be watching from home, but yep, I had seen that yesterday that she had gone into labor
That's
at the game.
insane.
The props to her for staying there though.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's just like I've sat through when I went to when I went to a Giants game with my friend with Caitlin Finnegan, who's one of our e-board members here at WICR, we were like sitting down and everything, and like I had to go to the bathroom so badly. I had to pee so bad, and I like was like, no, I'm gonna wait this out. I'm just gonna wait till the end, like till the half at least. Wait till the half. And I had to go from like the beginning of the game, and I kid you not, like I barely made it to the end of the first quarter. I was like, I can't. I have to go.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know if I could really do that. I mean, props to her for staying in labor, because that would not be something I would be doing.
No, absolutely
I'd be like,
not.
peace, I'm going to the hospital.
Oh yeah.
There's no
I
way.
would have left. I would have like, you got to understand here. I'm about to push out a human being.
So I'm going to leave. I'll see you at the hospital.
Yeah.
See you at the hospital.
But, so the Falcons, and now, of course, the Patriots.
That wasn't, I really was hoping that game was going to be relatively close, just the way the Steelers had played Kansas City.
Yeah.
It was not close. It was
a disaster. 36-17 is just 44 to 21 is a massacre, and 36-17 is a massacre.
Sure. It was just
I don't know how you go from, like
I don't know.
It just doesn't make it. I mean, I guess like the Steelers didn't really have like they played the Chiefs before then. And so, I mean, and that was an 18-16 game.
Yeah.
An 18-16 game against the Chiefs. And that was an upset because the Chiefs were number 2.
Yeah. That was a big upset.
Right. And then the Patriots went on to play the Texans, and that was 34-16. But that was a no-brainer. Like I knew they weren't going to win that game.
Yeah.
I knew the Texans had no chance, especially the Texans without J.J. Watt
had no
something that, exactly. And I'm surprised at the Texans, and I know not like one person doesn't make a team and everything.
No, but that guy really keeps
makes that line. You know what I mean?
He makes that line, and otherwise they really missed him this past season.
Yeah,
they really missed him, and maybe they may or may not have Vince Wilfork back for next year, because he said he thought he was thinking about retiring.
That's insane,
right? I was just
but and then so the Steelers go from having that close game, and the Patriots go to having a complete blowout of the Texans, and it kind of you get that matchup of number 1, number 3, and that's one thing that I always think about is what games are those teams coming off of?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You have to look at that.
Right. You have to look at that. And in this case, it was Pittsburgh coming off of a close game with Kansas City Chiefs, but the Chiefs aren't the Patriots.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
The Chiefs are not the same team as the Patriots.
Yeah, exactly. So
they're not the same team.
Exactly. So, I mean, it's just kind of like I kind of wish the Steelers would have put up more of a fight.
But they didn't.
The same way with Green Bay. I wish Green Bay would have put up more of a fight. But they didn't, and this is who we got stuck with. It was just a
boring championship Sunday.
No, it really was boring. I
turned it off. I was just like, I flipped channels, and it just wasn't something, exciting to watch anymore. After, okay, like I understand maybe the first drive for the Falcons, I get that, but it was multiple drives that they just sort of, the defense wasn't even really there. It was just them throwing the ball or running the ball, and it wasn't entertaining.
No.
A championship game is supposed to be close.
Right. It wasn't. Game. Yeah. It wasn't like the pre-Super Bowl weekends, like so many seasons before, where it was like nail biters, where it was like, oh my God, who's
when Denver went last year, and I think they played New England, and that was a nail biter of a game. That was a definite nail biter.
It was just kind of like. It gave us something. It gave us something. It was entertaining. This was just, oh my God! I could and imagine being a fan of either team that didn't show up. Like imagine being a Green Bay fan,
and you'd be like,
and being like, oh my God, like this is it. This is our game. Like. There's no way the Falcons are going to beat us.
Exactly.
No way the Falcons are going to beat us. Green Bay Packers, who have been here so many times.
Exactly. And with Green Bay, you can't put all the blame on Aaron Rodgers. It's not all of Aaron Rodgers' fault.
It's not, but at the same time,
he gets blamed for it.
That whole line has been there already. The whole team has been there. It was just... the coaches have been there, the staff has been there, the organization has been there before, and yet here's a team, the Atlanta Falcons, who
haven't been in years.
Who would have even thought the Atlanta Falcons? I mean, It's funny because one of my favorite. Well, he's not my favorite, but like I just know him and I like him. Croy Bierman used to play for the Falcons.
Exactly.
Got transferred to the Bills this season, and now here they are.
And he's cut.
And how many years was he on the Falcons?
He was on the Falcons for years, and and now he didn't. And I think his career is pretty much over because no other team picked him up after the Bills cut him.
No.
So I think his career is completely over. But that offensive line of the Green Bay Packers have all been, and you have Jordy Nelson playing with broken ribs.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Whose
thanks
decision
to the
was
Yankees.
that?
I mean, thanks to the Giants for that one.
Whose idea was playing him with broken ribs?
He wanted to play.
I guess so.
Listen, he looked fine.
He looked fine for having broken ribs.
They showed him in warm-ups.
He looked absolutely fine.
There's no way. And people are like, oh my God, how's he doing this? He's a freak of nature. No. There's no way you're going to tell me this guy just broke his ribs the weekend before, thanks to the Giants, okay?
Yeah, 2 weekends before,
Right? 2 weekends before, okay? Broke his ribs and is playing right now in another NFL game, okay?
Exactly.
Without any kind of drugs or any kind of like cortisone. Like he must have been so drugged up
to play
for Sunday's game.
And they said they had like this specially made vest for his ribs to go on it, which I completely
it was like a protector.
It was like military grade stuff too, which I completely understand. But how much medication was that guy on? Because it's not just Tylenol's not going to cut that.
He must have been on did you see him in warm-ups? He was like he was doing like these. He was like stretching
and I'm like, dude,
around. I was like, I can barely do that getting out of bed sometimes, and there's nothing wrong with me. You have broken ribs and
like that hurts even to breathe.
Come on, there's no way. And he got hit a couple times too. There's no way.
He got hit hard.
And there's no way. And you're not gonna tell me not one person was like, there's something wrong here. Like there must be a lot of drugs in this kid's system.
Exactly.
Come on now.
Exactly.
You break ribs and you're playing again.
That and in 2 weeks, that doesn't seem right.
No.
At all.
Broken ribs are not healing in 2 weeks.
No, they take like at least 6 to 8 weeks to heal.
They take a long and especially if you're doing what you're doing, like you're not gonna be healing in that process.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You're not gonna be healing in the amount of time it takes for broken ribs to heal.
Exactly.
For what? For a game.
For a game that could or couldn't. That's
what I'm saying. Like, what if God forbid, like this guy, like he gets hit hard again the same way he got hit in the Giants game, and then like a part of his rib breaks off, pierces his lung. Like, what happens? What happened? What do you do? What?
Exactly. And they lost. A lot of Green Bay players did end up going, to the locker room and didn't return. But they have to figure that stuff out. You're an NFL team, figure it out. Those can't be excuses for you of why you didn't perform well.
Right. I just it's going to be an interesting game, I think, and I've been talking to a lot of people, just trying to hear what people are getting. And so I got to be honest with you, I'm getting a lot of mixed. I think I got a lot of at this school in particular, which is weird because we're in a metropolitan area, right? 30 minutes from the city, the heart of Westchester County.
Yeah,
tons of New York fans, but at this school, there are a lot of New England Patriot fans that I've noticed. A lot of them. And, of course, you're going to ask them, who's going to go. And Patriots fans are very loyal fans.
Yes, they are.
Very, very loyal fans. And you should be, you know what I mean? When you have a quarterback like that and a coach like that and just, like, kind of a history of a team like that, you got to have a following that really sticks with them. But at this school in particular, there are a lot of Patriots fans, and of course they're going to choose the Patriots to win.
Exactly.
But what I didn't, realize going around talking to all these people is there are a lot of people rooting for the Falcons, and a lot of New York fans are rooting for the Falcons
just because they don't want to see the Patriots win.
If there's one team that
people don't want to see win, and it's the Patriots.
It's the Patriots.
The
only people that want to see the Patriots win are Patriots fans.
Exactly.
That's it. Nobody else.
And, that's the thing with a lot of people that I've talked to are like, I just don't want to see another Patriots Super Bowl.
No.
I don't want to see another blowout out of a Super Bowl because of the Patriots. A lot of people believe in the Falcons that they're going to be able, with their defense, to be able to get rid of Tom Brady.
Right. Exactly. And I think that, the one thing that a lot of people were bringing up is and a lot of people who aren't Patriots fans were saying Patriots, and they were like, let's just look at, that team has been there already
multiple times,
and their coach
has been there
already. He is a veteran coach.
Yep.
Is and a lot exactly. Oh, 100%. Belichick's 100% a future Hall of Famer, but a lot of people are saying they're just going to get out coached. They're not going to be ready for it, and I just think that when people talk about the championship games, you know what I mean, World Series games, even just any Super Bowl, anything, Stanley Cup, anything. Those games are so different.
Mm-hmm.
And especially for football, it's only one game. Baseball, you get 7.
Yeah.
And even in hockey, you get what? I don't know hockey. I think it's 5 for the Stanley Cup or something like that.
I think it might be 5 or 7.
5 or 7, something for the whatever. Best out of 7. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But
I think it is best out of 7.
For football, it comes down to one game.
You have 4 quarters to prove yourself.
Exactly. And it's whoever shows up that day.
And if you don't
we
show
could
up,
have a day where Tom Brady and Belichick don't show up. We could have a day
yeah.
where just Tom Brady doesn't show up. And if he doesn't show up come February 5th at 6:30 and he's not ready, let me tell you something. Patriots are going to have a hard time because the Falcons are going to show no mercy.
I don't think the Falcons really are. They're not a no mercy. They're going to do what the Falcons are going to do, and they're going to push real hard.
Their defensive line is definitely championship worthy, 100%.
Yes,
100%.
definitely. And I think their offensive line is definitely championship worthy.
Right.
I think they need to just realize that just keeping themselves calm and not getting wrapped up in stuff that the Patriots will do and the Patriots' antics will just stay calm. We're going to play our game and go from there.
Exactly. And, it's definitely going to be, I think it's going to be an interesting game. I mean, thinking about it. And one crazy fact that I just remembered about was that this is Brady and Belichick. I think it's their 7th Super Bowl appearance together.
Yes, together.
That's insane. 7 Super Bowl appearances.
Mm-hmm.
He's been there 6 times before this.
Yeah.
How... That's another thing is the mental game of it.
Yeah.
How do you mentally wise, if I'm a Falcon, how do I mentally go in there saying I'm going up against a team that has been to the Super Bowl already 7 times?
Exactly.
This is their 7th time going.
Mm-hmm.
How do I do that? How do you do that? How do you mentally prepare yourself for that? They know they've been there. They've been on the stage before. They understand it. Like, how coming up being a young Falcon player, like on that defensive line, like being like, I've never been here before. I think it's something where those players need to stop and take everything in and just enjoy that. And there is nothing to lose for the Falcons. They lose, okay. But there's something to lose for New England.
Yeah. I think with the Falcons, if they just remain calm and they're like, okay, we are playing in the Super Bowl and they take it one series, one play, one quarter. I think that's the mentality that they've had all season.
Yeah.
And because no one thought that they would be going to the Super Bowl at all. No one thought they were going to Super Bowl first week of the season. I think since they took it one series, or one play, one series.
I don't think anybody even thought the Patriots would be going without Tom Brady and everything. Like, I didn't, when Tom Brady wasn't starting, it was like...
And they were down to their 3rd-string quarterback.
Right. It was kind of like, oh, what are the Patriots going to be doing? Now, here we are, 2 weekends before the Super Bowl, and they're in it.
Exactly. I think that just shows the strength of the Patriots team. Whether you're a Patriots fan or not, they do have a lot of strength, and they do have a lot of people who can play different positions.
Yeah, they do.
You have Julian Edelman who can play the quarterback position.
Right.
And I think that's something that most teams should start thinking about is having multiple players be able to play multiple positions if you get stuck like that.
Just having depth and being able to be flexible with your players. Having your players being able to, take on any role that their coach has to give them. And which is funny that you brought up Julian Edelman, is he's one of my favorite football players, and it sucks that he's on, the Patriots. But he was being interviewed over the phone one day, and Rex Ryan on the Bills played a joke on him, and was on the phone, and he was like, hey, this is so and so from whatever news, and
Yeah, I
will you
remember
be ready
seeing
to
that.
quarterback if Belichick asks you to be a quarterback against the Bills coming this Sunday? And he was like, I'm just going to be ready to do whatever my team needs me to do. You know what I
And
mean?
that
Whatever my coach needs me to do, if he needs me to be a quarterback, that's what I'm going to do. That's what they need. That's what every team needs, really.
that's what every team needs, is that player who's going to say, whatever my team needs is I'm going to do that for them.
Right.
And that's the player that Edelman's been. And I think other players should start looking at that and saying, oh, if he can do that, maybe not that I like that team, but I think that's something that other teams should seriously consider thinking about.
Right. I agree 100%. With that note, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back 19 days. We'll see you guys in a little bit.